be the hardest worker in the room. And just another quote that I saw was, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
You guys have obviously performed quite well in the Currie Cup and playing in the semi-final as well this year. So, I mean, what do you think is key to that success?
There's no egos between us, either if you're a Springbok or a guy that's just been promoted from the under-19 side. Yeah, the seniors in the squad really make the younger guys feel welcome. It's a very healthy and competitive environment we have, and I feel like everyone is pushing each other to get better and better every day.
Hey guys, welcome back today. We've got David Kriel, Blue Bulls player. So David, welcome to the show, and it's nice to have you on here. If you can just give us a quick intro to you and who you are and who you're playing for.
Thanks Ronaldo, thanks for having me. I'm David Kriel. I play for the Vodacom Bulls. Most recent history I've been playing in the centre position, but I can cover even both wings, even fullback, and wouldn't mind a chance at 10. But for now, centre is the jumper for me.
Cool. David, you've been a massive kind of key part to the Bulls' success this past season. Can you give us a bit of an overview of your journey in becoming a professional rugby player, where it all started for you, and kind of your path in ending up at the Bulls? I know your brother's obviously playing at the Lions, so if you can just give us a bit of insight on that.
Wouldn't want to sound too cliche, but I think the love of rugby started with my dad. From the earliest memory that I have, I remember me and my brother running in the garden and playing rugby with my dad. So I think it originated from a very young age, since we were young boys. And then when coaching started in primary school all the way through to high school, and then luckily enough I was offered a contract during my Craven Week year, and then the professional era of rugby started for me. First started at Western Province, and then after that, or during the COVID pandemic, got the call from Coach Jake, and then the rest is history. Decided to move up to Pretoria, and I've been a Blue Bulls rugby player ever since.
Okay, cool. And I mean, just before you obviously became into the kind of professional setup, a lot of guys experience a lot of challenges to obviously become a professional rugby player. So can you give us a bit of background regarding your school career, and then obviously how you got to that position where you obviously had an opportunity to go to Western Province?
So I went to Grey College in Bloem, and then most people know that at Grey you live, eat and breathe rugby. It just got more serious from there. But ever since I first touched a rugby ball, I knew, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to pursue as a career. And went through the growing phases in high school. Luckily played A-team all the way through to my matric year, and played Craven Week for 2 years in a row. And then it was in my matric year, we played at St. Stithians in Joburg 2017, and then got a couple of offers from numerous unions and even overseas based. But I felt in that stage of my life, and obviously chasing the Springbok dream, I thought, okay, now it's best to stay in South Africa. And I felt in that stage that Western Province was the move for me, just to work on my development. And like I said, the rest is history. I feel everything has worked out the way it should have, and everything that's happened has happened for a reason. So that's basically my backstory on rugby.
Okay, cool. I mean, not everyone has that kind of smooth sailing. I mean, I know you've obviously worked really hard to obviously get to where you are today. So, I mean, just give us a bit of, just background on your development and the kind of position. I know you sometimes switch position. What's your preferred position? And I mean, where do you kind of fit in with your future? Like, what's your plans? You want to play centre, wing, fullback? Where do you see yourself developing into becoming a Springbok?
Yes, Ronaldo, that's a very good question. At the moment, I feel, I wouldn't say comfortable in one position or another. I feel wherever I get the chance to play, I feel comfortable. And the fact being able to play so many positions, I think, is a very big positive for my versatility. And just to be able to fit in anywhere or everywhere where I'm needed. But as of now, I feel the development of my game has been growing exponentially since I've been starting to play centre. I mean, it's a whole different dynamic as to wing or fullback. So, I feel very happy playing my rugby at either 12 or 13. Still can't decide which one is the more favourable one. But, like between the 12 and 13 jumper, it's got its own pros and cons. But yeah, I've been enjoying the rugby at centre. I feel the involvement is something I thrive upon. Getting into the game, whether it's attack or defence. So I'm just very happy at centre at the moment, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls have had some really good success the last season or two, especially with the squad that Jake and the team is obviously building. So, I mean, how is the team dynamics? You guys have obviously performed quite well in the Currie Cup and playing in the semi-final as well this year. So, I mean, what do you think is key to that success and building that environment where all of the teams and all of the players are actually performing quite well when it comes to, obviously, this competitions? I mean, if you look at where the Stormers and Western Province are at the moment, the Currie Cup has not been as great as you guys has obviously been. And I mean, how do you see that kind of cohesion between the younger guys from the Currie Cup and then also leading up to the URC?
Yeah, Ronaldo, you said it. As soon as you asked me what has been the key in the squad, I was thinking of the word cohesion. So yeah, exactly that. The cohesion between the guys. I mean, there's no egos between us, either if you're a Springbok or a guy that's just been promoted from the under-19 side. Yeah, the seniors in the squad really make the younger guys feel welcome. And still, it's a very competitive environment, but a healthy one. I mean, everyone knows who's at the union or who has been at the union knows what the Bulls logo stand for, what a privilege it is to play for this club and the rich history it has. So, yeah, I think there's also a lot to do with the dream of a young boy of being a professional rugby player, and no one actually takes it for granted. I must say the main thing is the cohesion between the guys. We don't have egos. I can name a few names where I can just call a guy up and we can go for a coffee or even a beer if it's on a weekend. So it's a very healthy and competitive environment we have, and I feel like everyone is pushing each other to get better and better every day.
Some of you guys obviously had a bit of a break now after the URC, which unfortunately didn't go your guys' way this year, but I think coming into this season you guys had a nice break. Not all of the guys played Currie Cup. So, I mean, how's the rest been? What have you been working on personally? What have you been doing the last couple of weeks? And I mean, new season of the URC starting in a couple of weeks. So, that's probably very exciting for you guys.
First of all, the rest was needed. It's quite a brutal schedule that we have the URC is a long competition and the Currie Cup following straight after, and even the Investec Champions Cup. So, it's quite a brutal schedule. So, but the rest was spent well, if I can put it that way. But I'm just very excited for the new season to come because I think the rest is good for the mental side of things. But as soon as the rugby is on the side, then I think you just realize how much you appreciate the game, how much you appreciate just the guys being around you, and how good of a job it is to have to be able to be a rugby player. So I've been working on quite a few things, especially gym wise. Put on a couple of kgs. Skills wise, always working on passing, kicking, footwork, speed, and I've been doing quite a lot of analysing work and working on how to broaden my game, broaden the horizons, whether it's to scan space better or whatever it might be beneficial for my game. I've been putting quite some time to it.
And I mean, obviously talking about the URC, I mean, can you give the guys a bit of an insight? I know last year there was a lot of media around the kind of traveling, but I don't think guys truly understand kind of the traveling and what goes into playing games overseas. If you can give us a bit of an overview of like what the traveling is currently like in the URC when you guys come and play in the UK or in any of the European countries.
This past season it's been really well organized for us at the Bulls. We've got amazing owners in Rupert and Motsepe. So we I think some of the other clubs might be jealous because I remember we were one time coming back from tour and we were on the same flight as the Lions, and us starting 15 for the next weekend was flying in business class back home, and they were just passing us one by one, seeing us sitting in business class. So that's just a big thanks to our owners and the people who organized it, because previous seasons, economy class it's very difficult to get a good night's rest there, and especially us flying only on the Tuesday or even the Wednesday to get there on the Thursday, train or have a captains on Friday, play the Saturday. The flight difference in business class and economy class is huge. So yeah, I don't know how the flight schedules or the flights might look this year, but hopefully it's the same, because I think we, as the Bulls, experienced it this year. We had a couple of wins on tour, and it changes your body exponentially in terms of rest and recovery and being ready for the weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously traveling back and forth throughout the seasons is obviously quite challenging. So, I mean, how do you keep your mindset strong, and how do you keep motivated, especially when facing like difficulties with traveling, or maybe injuries, or even like losing a game or two on the trot? It does become a bit of a challenge. So, I mean, what do you do to kind of keep your mental awareness and mental toughness throughout the season?
Yeah, one thing that I've worked on for me personally was if we play the game on the Saturday and, for instance, we lose, obviously the feel in the camp is not as good. But then I'll do on the next day, the Sunday or whatever, I'll do my review work and have my day of moaning or being negative, if you want to put it that way. But as soon as I've made that flip or that switch to, okay, this game is in the past, doesn't matter what I say or do now, I can't change what happened on the game. Once I made that switch, when I realized, okay, it's over, just keep your head up and move on. And I think it also goes hand in hand with the cohesion in the squad. For me personally, in the Bulls squad, there's a lot of mature men. Yeah, I think most of the guys there are fathers and stuff, so they can see when some of the younger blokes are down or not feeling themselves. So that's where the cohesion also comes in, and we just spend time together and work through all the difficulties, and so that's good.
Okay. Yeah, and a bit outside of rugby and just more about, I mean, David Kriel. So do you have any kind of business ventures you're involved now? I mean, you're obviously still very young, so is there something that you currently interested in? Are you studying anything? What is life after rugby or after a day of rugby for you currently?
Yeah, a day after rugby, usually I'd just first take the first hour or two just to recover from the day's training. But actually recently myself, my brother Richard and my father, we started a business. Yeah, it's the export of, like, how can I say it, like small foods and fruits, jams, everything that you would find in your everyday convenience store, even at a petrol station. We recently got the trademark. Yeah, the company's name is AgriBuddies. So we're just waiting for the last couple of formalities before we can export those products and push them into stores, and just hope to grow the business from there on in.
And where did that come from? Did you have a passion or something? Or, I mean, did your dad have a background in that? Where did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, it's actually my dad. No, my dad did, because I actually don't want to expose myself and Richard too much, but like we were, since we were young, we knew we wanted to play rugby, and that was it. But after the past couple of years, and especially how you see in rugby how quickly things can change, and the one day you're a rugby player, play a game, and I wouldn't want it even over my worst enemy, but then a career ender happens, then what happens next? Very thankful for my dad for speaking some sense to myself and Richard, and that was actually his idea, and we just started. We sat. I think it started in lockdown. He started with the idea, and all of the admin started since then, and looks like we might be able to launch in the next month or two. So it's been quite a journey, but I must give all the credit to my dad for giving that idea to us.
Okay, cool. So we'll also drop in that business and the links in the podcast episode below for anyone that's obviously interested to go and have a look at what you guys are doing. Just moving on from obviously your life and a bit of what you're doing outside of rugby. Part of what Octafield's obviously doing is we want to kind of broaden out people's knowledge of rugby and what guys get up to. I mean, what knowledge or feedback would you give to kids that's coming through the system, that's maybe struggling, that's not getting opportunities, that's maybe in a small school or been missed when there was a trial or Craven Week or any of those things? What advice would you give to those younger guys?
Yeah, I would always, not to be cliche again, but I will always say work harder or be the hardest worker in the room. And just another quote that I saw was, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. So, I mean, in today's world, in today's rugby, the hardest worker will get noticed. And I experienced it myself as well. because at school, I was crazy about rugby, but also didn't get the chance to play SA schools, even though I felt like I was one of the front runners in both my grade 11 and 12 year. And then, just made the mind switch in matric to be the hardest worker. And then, next thing you know, in my under 19 year, I was privileged enough to make my debut for the junior Springboks. And I don't think it happens a lot to guys who don't play SA schools and then first year out of school play for the junior Springboks. So, just be always the hardest worker in the room, and promise you it will pay off.
Okay. Just the last one, kind of plans for you for the season. Have you set yourself any goals that you want to achieve? I know obviously we had an exclusive interview with you a couple of months back just after your re-signing, and I mean, becoming a Springbok is one of the big things that you obviously want to achieve, which I think you're very close to putting on that jersey. So what's your kind of goals for the season?
Yeah, thank you, Ronaldo, for that. So like you said, the main goal is still to become a Springbok. It's been a lifelong dream for me. I would just work on everything that I got right this past season, and then hopefully get the attention of the national selectors to wear the green and gold sooner rather than later. But so must be Springbok, and just to grow as a person, not just on the field but off the field as well. Because actually in this off season, someone very important to me asked me, if rugby is not there, what then? And but it stuck quite with me, and I realized that even though I have such a love for rugby and I love doing it and I enjoy it, but if there isn't rugby, then who am I? Who is David Kriel? So I just want to be the best version of myself as a person, and be that person that if someone needs to be made an example of, that they talk about me, or show about how my deeds are. So that's a bit outside of rugby, but for the next season, I just want to work on what I got right and become the best rugby version of myself, and hopefully wear the green and gold soon.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's great. I mean, it's always great. I mean, I've also been kind of through a massive couple of years and a lot of things that gone wrong in my career, and obviously after my injury. So it's great that you're that young and you already realize that there is a life after rugby and that you are preparing for that, but also have the mindset of leaving behind a legacy. I think a lot of guys in today's kind of era don't think about those things, and then when something terrible happens, then it's a bit too late. So I mean, congrats on having your stuff sorted out when it comes to obviously rugby first of all, but also having that clear mindset. So I mean, I'm really excited to continue looking at your career and your journey, and I think a lot of people in South Africa is also excited to see what you are going to do this season. So thank you for joining us today, and hopefully the next time we chat, you'll be in the box squad and hopefully put on the green and gold this year.
Thank you so much, Ronaldo. We'll work hard towards it. But thanks for having me again. A real pleasure to talk to you, and thanks a lot.
Okay.